Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Detroit Tigers franchise mode here in MLB The Show 21. So in last episode, we had the entire off season, and unfortunately I had a little bit of a video problem, but I still managed to do a little bit of a recap on what happened. But our team looks pretty good going into this upcoming season for the 2027 season. I think this is the best team we've had together in a long time. As you can see, our pitching core looks really good. We got really good depth. We got good solid relievers, I'd say. Closing pitchers look pretty solid. We got good catcher, or well, an okay catcher, I'd say. We definitely need a better catcher at some point. But you get into like our first baseman or second baseman, like we have really good depth in terms of every single position. And I think this team is only going to get better from here on out. Obviously, we don't have really a lot of right fielders right now in the MLB that are that good, but George Veras is going to probably get an opportunity to play at least early on in the season just because of his good contact hitting, so should be interested to see how he simulates in the MLB. But yeah, our team is looking pretty good, and I'm excited to see what we could do this year. Last year we finished 500 for the first time, so we are starting to trend upwards, and I think this year we could finish maybe above 500. It just depends on if we could stay healthy, because last year we lost Candelario, and in the year before that actually we lost Candelario as well, and that was a pretty big blow to the team. But I do think guys like Conrad Colvin could step up this year and whatnot. So I'm pretty excited to see how this team performs. Now, I did ask you guys about like lineup and pitching rotations, but I decided to adjust it myself. I didn't get any comments actually in last episode, so that's okay. But this is how I vision our team for the start of the season. It could change going into next episode, but we got Mize, McElroy, Martin, Manning, and Skubal in that order. And then in terms of our relievers, we got Fulmer, Wentz, and Jordan as our long relievers. And in mid relievers, we got Alexander, Poche, and Norris. And then setup-wise, we have Corona, and Aoki is going to be our closer like he was last year. So I would say pretty good for the bullpen for the most part. And then we get into our lineups. Now I adjusted this as well. So I have Castro, Candelario, then Colvin, just because we got two guys that are really good contact hitters, and then a very good contact/power hitter in Conrad Colvin. Then we get two more contact guys in Packard and Brujan, and then we got Fernando Valdez, who is a good power hitter, and then we got some more contact kind of guys near the end. So I think that's how I'm gonna have it set up. And then yeah, basically the bench has these players: Paredes, Deathridge, Laurencio, and Veras. And yeah, that's pretty much what I did for most of these, is just set it up based on that. So there's always like a power hitter after a few contact hitters. That way he can maybe drive them in. So yeah, that's basically how I have the team set up. Very excited to see how we play this year. We're going to get the draft done in this episode as well. So should be interesting to see what kind of prospects we can get into this team. But without further ado, let's sim up to draft day and see how this team performs. Hopefully we could be above 500 again by the draft, because we were last year. I think we were like 29 and 27 or something. So let's sim the draft, see how we play. And we're going to start off with 2 wins in a row, 3 wins in our first 4 games. Let's auto-fix our lineups down there in AAA. Yeah, we're off to a really good start, but there's a couple losses in a row, so maybe we suffered an injury. But yeah, this team's off to a really good start this year by comparison to previous years. The Giants are offering me a trade. What is the trade? Dylan File for Mauricio Dubon. I don't really want Mauricio Dubon. I don't think. He's probably an older guy, I would assume. Yeah, he's a 32-year-old, 79 center fielder. That's not terrible, but I don't really think I need a guy like him, because I like our outfield the way it is right now. I mean, I did want to trade Dylan File, but I don't think it makes sense to really trade for somebody like Mauricio Dubon. Just because if we look at our outfield already, like we already have Brian Packard and Gary Harrow, which are both really good. We also have Victor Reyes and Brock Deathridge, who are pretty solid. Drew Waters, who's up there. And then George Veras is needing to develop his outfielding skills a little bit, but still, I think we're pretty good. So I'm not going to take this trade. Thank you, though, Giants, for that offer. We're 1-15 at this point in the season, which is very good to see. Let's continue simulating up to the draft. But yeah, this team is probably going to make the playoffs this year, I'd say, if we keep it up. There's a few losses in a row, though. We're kind of struggling at some points of the season, but we are 29-24. We're 3 games back of third place in our division. That is pretty good. That's exactly what I'd like to see. We actually have a better winning percentage than the Twins, who are second place. Okay, that's good. So there's a chance we could make the playoffs. We might make it as a wildcard team if we continue to play like this year. We're going to have to take a look at our player stats so far, so let's do that. So Casey Mize is off to a pretty good start, 3.02 ERA and a 1.05 whip. He's been pretty solid. He's up to a 90 now, jeez. Yeah, this is a pretty good start this year from Casey Mize. Glad I signed him for a 4-year deal at $20 million. Tarek Skubal has been fantastic as well, 4-1. He's returning to form because last year he was not that great, I would say. But he's 4-1 on the season with a 2.01 ERA and a 1.18 whip, up to an 87 overall. Matt Manning's been probably one of our worst pitchers, a 3.48 ERA and a 1.51 whip. Let me actually take a look at the FIP stats on these pitchers first before we get down to like Chauncey's. 534. So yeah, Matt Manning's been probably our worst pitcher. He could end up leaving at the end of the season easily because of David Jordan and whatnot. Tarek Skubal, let me take a look at your FIP because I didn't take a look at that. 3.08, you've been fantastic. You could end up making the All-Star game. Casey Mize, his FIP stats 3.53, that's pretty good as well. Then we get to Chauncey McElroy, and Chauncey's been probably one of our worst pitchers, 4.48 and a 138 whip. But he might have better FIP stats, 4.91, so maybe he's actually been right around the same. He's not been that terrible, I would say, but definitely needs to work on his ERA a little bit. Gerald Martin has had a terrifically bad season by comparison to last year, but it could be just the team around him. Because last year he went 15-8, and he was fantastic. This year he's 3-7. But he does have a better FIP than he does in ERA, which means he's been actually not that bad. It's mainly been probably the team behind him, I would assume. David Jordan's been pretty good as a reliever. It's good to see. What else we got here? The rest of the stats don't matter that much. Wentz has been pretty solid. Actually, the rest of these stats do matter a little bit, but I won't scroll through them yet. Relief pitcher-wise, what do we got? Alexander's been fantastic. Norris has been fantastic. Poche has been good. Fulmer's been good. So technically our bullpen has been very good for us, it seems like. And then Diego Corona has kind of struggled still a little bit, but he is developing, so that's good. Better than last year. And Aoki's been not terrible, but not great either as a closer. Catcher-wise, Reitz is hitting a 268, so that's not too bad. He's already got 24 RBIs. It's pretty good. Laurencio is hitting a 299. That's pretty solid off the bench. What about Chad Hirsch in AAA? Not that great. Okay. Conrad Colvin, though, has got 10 home runs already on the season, 34 RBIs, and oh no, Valdez is on IL. Oh no. Valdez on IL, oh no. Oh, that might be why we dropped a little bit of games recently. But yeah, Colvin's been pretty good. Might be on pace to have a similar season to he did a few years ago, or last year. Not as good, but still. But Fernando Valdez had 6 home runs and 23 RBIs, hitting at 214. But he went down with an injury, and it's for 1 to 2 months with damaged knee cartilage. That is not good. If Fernando Valdez could potentially stay injured for a decent amount of time, and our team might drop off a lot because of that. That's a huge injury to have. That's like as bad or even worse. He was actually having his worst start of the season yet. I hope he's not injury prone now because of that. Because damaged knee cartilage sounds like a serious injury. Anyways, second baseman wise, Brujan's hitting 260. Cortez hitting 257 in AAA. He might come up in September call-ups. Or we could call him up right now, maybe even. I don't know. Third baseman wise, Candelario's hitting a 319. He's been fantastic. Parody's hitting a horrible 0.70 off the bench. Yikes. That's not good. Carmen Nunez, our top prospect for third base, is up to a 71. He's developing pretty nice. What else we got here? Shortstop-wise, Castro has been fantastic, hitting a 309. Garcia hitting a 224. Damn, Cole Peterson hitting a 324 in AA. Left fielding wise, Packard's hitting 265. He's been pretty good. Gary Hare's up to an 83. He's got 1 home run and 12 RBIs, hitting a 259 on the season. Pretty good. Reyes is hitting a 349. Jeez. Yeah, some of our guys have been really good, but this injury to Valdez is very bad. George Veras is hitting only a 207, but he's got 2 home runs and 8 RBIs. What about AAA? Let's just scroll through some of this, just in case you guys want to see the stats at this point in the year. But I don't know if I'm really impressed with some of our stuff in the MLB at this rate, but it could be because of Valdez's injury. Like, I think our pitching's been good, but our batting needs to definitely improve, especially with a guy like Valdez out. Scouting. What else we got here? Transactions. We got to get into the draft still. Injured list. Yeah, we have a lot of injuries at the moment. Broken leg for Sid Felch as well. Jeez. Franklin Perez also got injured in AAA. Charlie Selby also got injured for 1 to 2 months. That's not good. Yeah, we're getting slammed with injuries this year, which is not a good time for that to happen. But hopefully once Fernando Valdez comes back, he tears it up or something. Okay, let's get into the draft, I think. Yeah, let's get into the draft. Actually, let me take a look at what is scouted. I honestly don't know what we're going to go after, but hopefully we can get some good prospects soon. So yeah, let's get into the draft. See what we can get. What pick do we have? We have the 17th pick, so yeah, that's not going to be probably a good prospect, but who knows. So Irizarry, did it say? Yeah, Irizarry goes first, and Delgado, Latier, Torres, Matson, etc. Okay, let's see what we can get at our spot. Nah, I don't want to go like that. I want to sort by this first. Okay. So what do we really need? If we look at our team, there's an abundance of positions we could use. We don't really need that pitcher yet. Pitchers are too early, I think, right now. Relief pitcher-wise, this guy would be maybe okay, but he might not be that good. He's 18. I mean, he's decently scouted. This guy might have good hits per 9 and good home runs in 9 and stuff like that. This guy might be decent for a relief pitcher. Might be interesting to take next round. There's also Vizcaíno, but this guy might be more of a project. I still don't really trust them because they're in yellow yet, but there might be some relievers we could get next round. Closing pitcher-wise, nothing intriguing really, I would say. Catcher-wise, there's an 18-year-old catcher, but he does not look that good. 25-year-old catcher, jeez. This guy's going to be a project player probably, though. Yeah, wait. Tim Luceroy, 70. He might be a decent overall, but not much potential. But I mean, this guy has probably good contact for his righties and lefties. And then his vision's decent, his fielding and stuff like that are pretty decent. I don't know. Don't think it's worth taking right there at that point, but Tim Lucero might be interesting. First baseman wise, Brian Charles is 18 from Canada. Yeah, he looks like a project player. Yeah, I honestly don't know what to go after. This draft doesn't look that great. Like, if I'm looking at potential-wise and all that, I don't think this draft is going to be that good. Like, these players might end up being, like, decent. Oh, there's the Hector Montañez guy still there. I was looking at this guy before, and he could play any outfielding position, potentially, and third base. Hector Montañez might end up being our pick, just because he might have a really high starting overall. And he's only 22, so he might be a decent player. Like, if we look at his stats right now, very good contact hitter. And he's got good reaction and speed and stealing. But he definitely needs to work on his power, his vision, his discipline, and his fielding stats are okay-ish. Yeah, he might be a good player. I'd say he's probably our number 1 option right now. Is Hector Montañez. Yeah, I think Hector Montañez might be our pick. Let's take a look at other positions first, though. Third baseman-wise, yeah, these guys don't have high potentials, really. third baseman, Mark Sullivan. This guy's a really good contact hitter, potentially. But that's pretty much it. Like, if we want a good contact hitter, Mark Sullivan's our man, but I don't really think we need another third baseman prospect because we just drafted a really good one. But Mark Sullivan's still decent for maybe a later round pick. Shortstop, 18-year-olds, 80 potential, 55 overall. So this guy would probably be a a low overall, but high potential. So maybe a later round pick, I don't know. Or he might end up going to some team. Don't like any of those outfielders, really, to be honest. Roger Holber. Diego Escobedo. Jeez, yeah, this draft class looks terrible. Right fielding wise, 80 and 60, 20 years old, 20, 30. Ooh. 65 contact, 60 fielding, potentially. Really good speed and good stealing. But this guy might have the potential to be a very good player. I think I gotta go with Michael Bland. We don't have really that top right fielding prospect, but this guy might be it. Yeah, I think we gotta go with Michael Bland, and then that other dude I was looking at, which was Melendez, or Montaignes? Yeah, Montaignes might be a pick for next round. But I think I'm gonna go with Michael Bland with this pick, because if I'm looking at his stats right, he's got 1 that's above average, 2 that's above average, 3, 4, 5. Like, this guy's, yeah, I think this guy's probably the best option to go with. So Michael Bland, welcome to the team. You're 20 years old. Hopefully you're a high overall. That's, I think, a decent pick. Did Melendez, or whatever his name is, go? It doesn't look like he did, so I could take him with our competitive round balance pick, I think. Which he might be a decent player. Yeah, Montaignes is still there, so I think I'm going to take him, because I think he could be decent. And we go to our next pick, which is 13th overall. I think Chuku looked decent, but he's 20... Wait, what's his age? 23. Yeah, this guy might be still decent. I might still take Chuku. But he only plays first in left field. But he might have good potential and a solid overall. But being 23 already, I'd hope his overall is pretty good. Let's sort this by scouting percentage. Any greens with some high overalls or high potentials? Not really. We go to these groups of yellows. There's a couple guys that with 80 potential, but a little bit older. Chuku. I think Chuku might be the good choice to make. But he is 23 is the only problem. Yeah, none of these catchers are probably going to be that good. First baseman wise, don't really see anything I like. Second baseman wise, Brian Chu looks decent as well, but he's 22 too. What else we got here? Oh, Mark Sullivan is still there. I think I gotta go with Mark Sullivan because he's still there. Third baseman, he's got good contact hitting probably, so we're gonna go with Mark Sullivan with our next pick. I'm kind of surprised that he's still there. But I think this might be actually an okay draft for us if our scouts are doing a decent job. Let's by scouted again, not scored. What the heck am I saying? Potential wise, 25 years old, not intriguing. Chuku still there, 23 though. An 18-year-old that might have decent potential and is a starting pitcher. What about relievers? Any good relievers? Maybe Jared Ojeda. I think Jared Ojeda might be our pick. I mean, there's other relief pitchers that could have 80 potential, but they're very low scouted. So I think I'm going to go with Jared Ojeda, even though he's not fully scouted. He's halfway scouted. He might be a decent reliever. Might be a lower end reliever, but still might as well take him. We could use relievers any day, so just because a lot of our guys are getting older and are on lower contracts. Let's sort this again. Third baseman Morello. Actually, let's go by potential. I might go with Chuku, even though he's 23. But there is a starting pitcher that's 21. This guy looks decent. But the thing is, he's only like halfway scouted. There's another right fielding guy that's 25 or 20 years old. Might have an okay potential. I think I gotta go for either Chuku or William Doe. And in this case, I think I gotta go with William Doe, just because of his age being a bit younger. So William Doe, welcome aboard, or William Dew, I don't know how you pronounce his last name. And that leaves us with our last pick of the draft, I think. And in that case, we are going to Chuku just won, unfortunately. Might go with Carlo Becerra. Low overall. Jimmy Ortiz might be a solid overall, but low potential. He's only 19 though, so yeah, we're gonna just take Jimmy Ortiz with our last pick, or our second last pick, actually. Never mind. Next pick and our last pick of the draft. Any solid overalls that are decently scouted. Ozzy Silva, second baseman with 60 overall. Not high potential either. We could always just take a chance with Richie Colon, which I think I might do, is because he might have 80 potential. Or we could go with this pitcher. You know what? We're going to go with Jason Silva. Go with him instead. Oh, hopefully that was a good draft from us, though. Hopefully that wasn't a really bad one like we've had in the last few years. So, let's see what our results are for the draft. We'll also take a look at the all-star voting and stuff like that and see who's leading categories and whatnot. But let's take a look at this. So, Bland is an 8 potential player. That's great news. 90 potential, 64 overall. So, that's pretty good. We found our top right fielder of the future. So, just imagine our outfield now though, because we got Hera and Bland. And Bland looks like he's... Yeah, Bland is super quick. Holy crap. 92 stealing already, 88 speed. His outfielding stats need to get a little bit better, though. So it's like his arm and his accuracy definitely need to get better. He's got okay fielding. He's got okay reaction as well. His durability could be improved a bit. It's not a great bunter. His clutch is decent. His contact hitting is pretty good. His power is not that great yet. Yeah, he looks like a pretty damn good player. I'll definitely take that. That's a really good pick. Hector Montañez is a 72 with 71 potential. So, yeah, he's not going to be that great of a player, I would say. But at least he has a good starting overall. Could be a decent bench option because of the contact hitting, I'd say. And also he has good speed and stealing too. So, he could be a good bench option. Maybe. Mark Sullivan, 85 potential, 63 overall. So, that's actually a pretty good one. Really good contact hitter, has okay potential as well, like I was just saying. Yeah, this is a decent pick as well. He only plays third base, so he might be more of a bench option as well at some point. Jared Ojeda, 75 potential, 58 overall at 18. Really good hits per 9, but everything else can be improved a bit. His velocity is actually pretty good too, in his arm. Like, he's got a 97 mile per hour four-seamer, so that's pretty good to see. Decent pitch repertoire. William Doe, 56 overall, 78 potential. The only really good thing is his home runs per 9 is pretty decent. His velocity is pretty good. But, Jimmy Ortiz, terrible, 62 overall, 63 potential. Might be like a AAA or AA player. And then Jason Silva's not that great either. So I'm definitely going to sign Bland up to his first contract. Same with Montañez. And then Sullivan... And I'd say Ojeda and Doe maybe as well, just in case. But Ortiz and Silva, I don't know about signing them, so you guys have to let me know about signing those guys or not. Let's take a quick look at the other teams in the draft just to see how they did. Briefly, just because I won't... this episode's already going a little bit long. But, wow, that's a really good catcher. I wish I would have noticed this guy. But he might have been a little bit earlier, who knows. Gerald Clark. 65 overall, 87 potential. Yeah, it looks like this draft was actually one of the best we've had, or seen at least. Really good second baseman going to, who is it? The Minnesota Twins. Bad draft for Houston. Okay draft for the Angels. I almost said Atlanta for some reason. Irizarry, who went first overall. Not really a good first overall pick. He has potential, but still. Interesting. Seattle had a pretty good draft with this nice closer. Yeah, this draft actually might not have been that bad. Like, it looks like there was some decent players, but some teams had horrendous drafts. I'll quickly just go through this. I'm not going to scroll through every name, but still. Just because my voice is kind of dying on me because I've recorded 3 straight videos. Wow, a lot of picks for the Dodgers this year. I'll also take a look at our team stats after this, just because I'm kind of curious on where we've been bad and where we've been good. Oh, Tim Lucero was a 79 potential, 75 overall. Damn, I wish I had taken this guy. Because, like I said, a catcher. This guy could have been a decent catcher for us. But, I mean, he doesn't have the highest potential, but he's a good contact hitter. Also good blocking and stuff like that, like you need for a catcher. Interesting. And that's pretty much that. But I'm really excited for Michael Bland. Even though he's already 20, I think this guy's going to be a pretty good outfielder for us with like guys like Gary Hara. He doesn't have any other secondary positions, though. It sucks. None of these guys have any secondary positions. Okay, let's take a look at our team stats quickly, just because I want to kind of see where we could probably improve our team. Like, if we go team rankings, right now, batting average wise, we're actually the 4th best team in batting average, so I think that drastically improved upon last season's. I don't even remember, but that's good to see we're up there in batting average. Runs, though, where are we in runs? We're 18th in runs, so we're not scoring that much. We're getting on base, but not scoring. Could be because of, though, the injury to Valdez. Hits-wise, we are 16th. Doubles, we're 9th. Not too bad. Triples. Yeah, we need a little bit more speed on our team. 20th. Home run-wise, we are currently not doing too well because of Valdez's injury. Yeah, 27th. Yeah, we need more power, too. Because RBI-wise, it looks like, yeah, we're not doing too well. 18th. Stolen bases, we are 7th, so we're stealing some bases, which is good. What else do we want to check out? Strikeouts, we are 1st in strikeouts, which is good, so we don't strike out that often at all. Like us, Houston and the Diamondbacks are all really pretty good. Everybody else is above 400. Slugging percentage, I don't really know what slugging is still. If it's like with guys in scoring position or what. We're 20th. What else do we got here? Grounded into double plays. Do we ground into a lot of double plays or no? Yeah, we ground into a lot of double plays. We're one of the worst. What else do we want to take a look at? Errors. I guess we could take a look at errors. In terms of error-wise, we're 26. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. Fielding percentage doesn't really matter that much. ERA-wise, we're 6th best in ERA. Just behind LA, Kansas City, who's top of our division. Houston, the Diamondbacks, and the Twins. Shutout-wise, I don't think this matters too much, really. We're in 15th. Saves, we're 5th, or tied for 5th. Blown saves, we're tied for 4th. And then, what else do we want to take a look at? Strikeouts by pitchers. We're probably pretty low in terms of strikeouts still, because we don't have a lot of guys that throw a lot of good strikeouts. 29th. Yeah, we need to kind of get pitchers that actually throw decent strikeouts. It looks like we're doing pretty decent for the most part. If we look at, though, the entire league leader-wise, yeah, Victor Reyes is having a fantastic year. I should have probably given him a longer contract. What else we got here? Let's scroll through this quickly, because we also got to take a look at who's maybe making the All-Star game. Yeah, we got a lot of guys that are actually hitting pretty decently. Like, it's mostly Candelario, though, and Reyes, like the veterans. Most wins for a starting pitcher. Michael Fulmer is up there as a reliever, which is kind of weird. Best ERA by starter. Tarek Skubal is 2nd best in terms of pitching. That's great to see. Interesting. Walks allowed. David Jordan's not walked a lot of people. That's good to see too. Let me take a look at the award leaders just in case there's anybody of ours that are up there for, like, guys that are leading for awards. Yeah, Reyes is leading for an award right now, which is really good. Reitz is also up there for an award potentially if they keeps it up all season. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. It really sucks about Valdez though being out with an injury. Let's take a look at all-star voting just to see if we have any guys that are up there. So Scooble's up there in votes, which is good, but Chris Sale's probably going to be the starter. Scooble might be one of the bench options. Reliever-wise, the leader, we don't have anybody that's up there, I don't think. Oh, damn, Nolan Blackwood, who got claimed in the Rule 5 draft from us. He's having a fantastic year in Boston, which sucks. Closers, we don't have really anybody up there. Actually, Aoki, I guess you could say. Catcher-wise, not really. First baseman, not really. Actually, Conrad Colvin. Doesn't look like as much as last year, but that's okay. Brian Packard's up there for left fielders. Center fielders, Victor Reyes is up there, beating Mike Trout so far, which is pretty crazy. And right fielders, nobody really. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Detroit Tigers franchise mode. So next episode, we'll continue to sim this season. And yeah, hopefully this team can maybe make it in as a wildcard team, because if we can make it in as a wildcard team, that'd be pretty nice. We're only one game back right now, so there's always a chance we could make the wildcard, or we could try and run for our division lead, which is currently with the Kansas City Royals. So let me know what you guys think down below, and I'll see you guys next time.